Good afternoon. I don't have a PowerPoint presentation. I've got an issues paper to present, and mostly what I'm going to present today is gathered from Positive Women, their experiences and the situations that they faced being positive in the country that I live, which is Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea is the largest Pacific island, and we are situated at the northern tip of Australia. Before I do this, I'd like to dedicate this presentation to all the women living with HIV in Papua New Guinea, because what I'm really going to say is really the experiences that I'm presenting. Living in a country where men make most of the decisions in all aspects of our family lives, it's a challenge to every woman. And having to find out of our HIV status makes lives even harder for women living with HIV to rise up and have a voice. In terms of reproductive health, positive women are stereotyped, referred to as being stupid and irresponsible when they fall pregnant. Within my country, it is perceived that positive women and girls should never marry or remarry and have babies. Our rights are dismissed outright. If a positive woman or a girl wants to get married, that's the most ridiculous thing that she can do. And it's a real challenge and issue that we face in our country. In instances, positive women are forced or coerced into having sterilization. We are told again and again that it is very irresponsible for us to bring a life into this world, as our actions only murder babies. But the sad thing is that the wider community don't take our feelings into consideration. Neither do they realize that we want families of our own and want to live normal lives like anybody else. Having said that, a number of us have gone through situations where we were forced and coerced by doctors to have sterilization, which we didn't understand that it was a permanent form of birth control. And after a number of years, women realized that they couldn't have children when their health improved, and they regretted, and they've been so frustrated. And some of the violence that they face within their marital life have resulted because of these actions. In terms of sexual health, when it comes to sex and sexuality, women are powerless in negotiating for what they want and how they want it done, as well as when they want it. Power is not often in our hands. Again, like Anne said, women don't have that power to tell their partners how they want to have sex, when they want it, where they want it. And it's a real challenge. Most women don't have control over their bodies on when to have sex. In so many situations, men decide when they should have sex. When a married woman refuses to have sex with her husband, she becomes a victim of violence. And so the number of gender-based violence is so high in my country. In young unmarried women and girls, their partners often threaten to dump them or even go to the extreme of resorting to physical violence or even killing them through sorcery if the women or girls refuse to have sex with them. When they don't cope, this places them in a situation of fear, submission, and increased vulnerability, where young women and girls want to be loved and not dumped by someone they love and care about. And it's a real situation, and it's a sad one. Again, men and boys decide on the types of sex they want to have, whether it's vaginal, anal, or oral. So many Papua New Guinean women who are living with HIV are often forced, threatened, or coerced by their husbands and partners to perform mostly oral and anal sex with them. And these are experiences of women living with HIV who were shared. When the women refuse, they are often abused verbally or physically in public. In terms of prevention, access to prevention tools and methods are most positive women are told to have sterilization as option number one. And in this, most women often submit to what the nurses and doctors tell them. As the power dynamic sees a shift to the health worker making the decision for sterilization for the women, whether it's in a rural or urban setting. It is also preserved in my culture that only married women should have access to birth control pills and devices with the approval of their husbands. Most women and girls, when found to have condoms in their possession, are thought to be prostitutes, as it is preserved that only prostitutes carry condoms in their handbags. They are often questioned and face violence of some degree from their male partners and husbands. Young unmarried women and girls don't access sexual reproductive services in fear of being stigmatized and discriminated they will face within the communities they live in. When young women and girls go out of their way to seek help or get themselves checked out at sexual health clinics, they can't do that because the community tends to stigmatize them. So the big question for us really is, where are our basic rights in the Pacific? Are our feelings and well-being as important to any other women in this world? Lastly, but not the least, is that we want our self-worth and dignity given back to us. Thank you.